Okay, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar with Fullscript and Freedom Practice Coaching. My name is Kaylee. I'm excited to be here again with Dr. Charles Webb. This is our second webinar together, and if you don't know, Dr. Webb is an international speaker, author, and the founder of Freedom Practice Coaching. Before we hear from him though, we're gonna go through a couple little housekeeping items. Just as a reminder, this webinar is being recorded, and you will receive a copy of the webinar and any resources after the event's finished. You can also find this webinar, you will be able to find it on our website at www.fullscript.com/webinars. And I believe we will have time for a little Q&A. We'll see how we do on time. So if you have any questions, there should be a question drop down on your dashboard or your GoToWebinar control panel dashboard, so you can toss them in there, and the team and Dr. Webb will be able to get to them. So I'd like to thank Dr. Charles Webb for being here today. If you haven't heard about him or you need to know a little more, he has built several practices in the insurance fee-for-service model, but he made the decision to sell his business and walk away. Although he did find financial success, he missed out on life and believed that that model is outdated and built to hold both the doctor and practitioner or patient hostage. So since 2012, Dr. Webb and his team have been educating healthcare providers in different practice model, one that empowers the patient to create health rather than manage disease. The Freedom Practice Coaching model redefines the doctor-patient relationship to a uniquely customized mentor-client experience. And his teaching methods have empowered hundreds of doctors and other healthcare providers to step out of the system and adopt a model proven to provide a higher level of care, generate true wealth, and provide a life outside the practice. His proven strategies have allowed him to build a better practice, a practice that has allowed him to be the dad he always wanted and to spend time with his wife and family. So it's very exciting for me to have you back here, Dr. Charles. And now, while after saying all that, I'm going to pass it over to you and take the presentation away, and I will pop back in a Q&A if I'm needed.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for being here. We've got around an hour, and I'm going to be moving at a pretty good clip because I want to deliver as much as possible. Hope you're in the right place. We're going to be talking about cracking the compliance code. What is it that we are doing right? What is it that we aren't doing right that we find either our majority of our patients are compliant, they're staying with us, they're following directions, or they're not? Because if they're not, it's not good on us, it's not good on them, it's not good for growth of our practice, it's not good for reviews, and all these things tumble down if the person we're working with isn't going to be compliant. So there's a formula for that. It's very, very easy to follow. There's nothing I'm going to be doing to overwhelm you, but we're going to be covering a lot of different areas that go in place with that. And so, but there's one area that I'm going to cover and spend most of the time on here, that if we don't have this key in our business, we don't have this part of our processes, we're going to have challenges with compliance, and no one wants that. No one wants to have those challenges. So I'm this guy, and I'm presenting myself today as your coach. And in all fairness, here's the best way that I can present. My job is to empower you guys. And so I'm going to ask permission. Will you let me be your coach while we're on this right now? What does that mean? Well, it means that you're going to allow me to speak the truth, to share the truth with you without anyone feeling offended or anything like this. I'm just a coach. I've been doing it for a long time, and I want to share the good, the bad, and the ugly of the current system, why we fail, and different directions you can go. And if I can coach you just like I would one of my clients, in that atmosphere, you guys are listening. You understand that my intention is from my heart, and that my intention is to train, to show you the right way, and sometimes is to move you out of your comfort zone. But that's what an effective coach does. So if you'll just give me permission, give me a thumbs up on the, oh, by the way, just so you guys know, I'm going to be right here the whole time present with you, so I can empower and get you guys the knowledge, but more than the knowledge, underline ways to implement so this can actually do something. So I've got a team of people here. I want to introduce them that's helping me out. Right over here to my right, I've got Danielle. Danielle's on the computer, and Danielle is in the chat room. She's going to be taking care of you guys. I've got Kristen right outside the hall here. Kristen, say hi. Kristen's on a computer too. She's going to be, there's a couple of videos I'm going to play a little bit later, and she's going to help me with those. And then I've got my camera guy right behind. Angel, say hello, Angel.
Hello.
Okay, so and then I've got Erica also. So there's a team of people here to make certain that your questions are answered. So don't be afraid to get on it and talk on chat, because that can swing back to me and we can answer some things now. If we don't get them done now, we're going to be following up with a workshop we'll talk about later, because my job is to empower you guys. My job is to help you guys put your practice in a different place to where you can start having a lot of fun. You can start making a bigger impact. But this is what I love doing. I love getting in front of people. I love changing lives. So that's me. This is my team. The reason I like to introduce a team to you, I've been in the coaching business now for quite some time. But before that, I've been coached. I've had many coaches in my life, and many of them had teams. And I really like that approach, because a one-on-one coach is very impactful. Don't get me wrong. And I've had a lot of those. I've had a lot of entrepreneurs coach me. I would never be where I am now without this. And I can assure you this, I've got almost every friend I have is an entrepreneur, not just doctors. I have doctor friends too, a lot of them in FBC, but all my friends, extremely successful in all aspects of life, not just generating wealth. I've never met one entrepreneur that wasn't coached, that didn't have a coach to help them get there. So I want to be your coach today. Okay, if we don't have a coach, we don't get there. But having a team is even more important, because there's different aspects. If you guys have been following me, you know we teach 7 pillars of the business model. So you need a team to do that. We train your team. So anyway, I want to let you know that this isn't just a Charlie Webb show. This is a team of professionals that really want to make a change in this world. My family, Mindy, Landon, reason I like to show this to you, this is actually an older picture. Landon's about this tall now. He's 16. He was probably maybe 13 or 14, probably 13 in this picture. But I believe that as physicians, we have a purpose to change lives, but I also believe when we made the decision to go into practice for ourselves, if you are in practice, maybe you're just looking to, then we made that decision because we wanted to do things our way, and we wanted to create our future for our family. Okay, otherwise you can go work for someone and take care of as many people as you want. If that's all you want to do is help people, that's great. But if you also want to live this life, this dream that you've wanted, you want to travel the world and things, then you pretty much have to go on your own, right? I mean, it's pretty hard to do that working out someone else's practice. But this is the life that I like. I like you guys to have it. When I was in practice, the model that I'm going to be talking about today, I actually took off 90 days a year in that practice. I worked a 3 to 4 day work week, so did my team, and took off 90 days a year because I learned a long time ago, as you heard earlier, I was in that model, the traditional type of model, meaning fee for service, insurance, and all of that. And I did quite well financially. In fact, I sold those practices to a public company, but I wasn't successful because I missed out on these things. I missed out on watching my daughter grow up. I missed out on the really important things. And what I'm here to tell you, you can make a bigger impact on your patients. You can generate wealth enough that you actually know that there's going to be enough in there to retire someday and send the kids to college and all that kind of stuff. And you can do that without working like to the bones in this model that was never designed for your advantage. It's designed against the patient, it's designed against you. And again, we'll cover that. But there was a time where things weren't so happy for me. After I had sold those practices, I got into other businesses that I didn't have a lot of understanding. I got into real estate, building homes, and I did quite well initially, but made some mistakes and brought another company, brought some, long story, bottom line, I wasn't the entrepreneur I thought I was, not in that business. And I built it, but I made mistakes, and in time I lost that. And I was pretty much penniless. I ended up having $2,400 in the bank. That was it. And I had no car, $2,400 in the bank. And Mindy, my wife, was pregnant with Landon. So I'm telling you this because I do understand what it's like to be in tough financial situations. I got into that situation because I wasn't the entrepreneur. I got in that situation because I was in a business, but I didn't have the business sense. And I don't want you guys to be in that situation, because you're a good clinician, a great clinician, a fabulous clinician, but we don't have business knowledge. It's kind of like the cordon bleu chef trying to run a restaurant. No, you're good in the kitchen, but not in business. So it's a subject we don't always want to talk about because we like clinical. I get it, I do too. But if you decided to open up a business, then you need to become a savvy entrepreneur, a savvy business person. That means that you're a good steward of every aspect of the business so you can grow that business. And we're going to be talking about one component mainly today, about how do we grow compliance, because if we have compliance, we have growth. But anyway, through these times, I had not the luxury to be indecisive. I did not have the luxury to live in fear. I did not have the luxury to question myself. I had to implement like mad, and I didn't have FBC, but I did find entrepreneurs. A couple of them were friends of mine that I knew that started to help them out. And as I started making a little money, I started hiring coaches, and in time, I hired some pretty top-notch coaches. So this model that I have, FBC, wasn't just designed by Charles Webb. I took entrepreneur understanding the foundations of business, brought them together in this. So it took many years, several $100,000, but having one of the better places that I can say, the best thing that ever happened to me is losing everything, because it forced me to move up. The worst position someone can be in my personal opinion, is comfortable, because that lends to the tendency to be indecisive. It lends to the tendency to accept mediocrity. Should you be here? Well, I'll get to that in a second, but if mediocrity is okay to be, this is probably not going to be a good hour of your time, because I'm going to be teaching a higher level of how to really go out and make things happen to your community, around your community, and within your own, the people that work with you and your family. But I did get started up again. This is my wife, Minnie, when she was younger. This is the first front desk I had. So I started off by myself, no help. Some of you were there, and slowly but surely started building that practice. And I went from zero to about $360,000 my first year, okay, by myself, following some of these things I'm going to teach you today. Now, I didn't have them all down in the first year. I was designing it, but very quickly went from there to a 7-figure practice in just 4 years. So, and now you got FBC, so we're going to get there a lot quicker. But it is about creating your future. I always tell people that work with us, we're going to create your future first and then design your practice around it, right? It's not the other way around. We like to travel. We like to go to Cabo. We like to enjoy our life. It's very short. I'm 60 years old. I don't have the years left that I did when I was 20. I'm not going to waste time. I want to live my life. So there's a place to work, and I love work, and then there's a place for this right here. And so if all we do is grow and make money, but we don't grow with our families and our children, then I think we failed. All right, so should you be here? Okay, if you're comfortable, oh, I'm okay, Charlie, I'm comfortable, I'm just interested, stay. You're welcome to stay. I'm gonna empower you. I'll keep your attention. I'm not going to be reading slides. I'm not going to be doing the typical webinar that'll bore the crap out of you. I'm going to be here, and I'm going to be here 100% present, and I'm going to empower. I'm going to deliver. So should you be here? Well, you should be here if you're not comfortable with what you're doing. You should be here if you can look at what you're doing and saying it's unacceptable. I don't like practicing this way. I'm not generating the wealth that I believe my value. I'm not impacting my clients, not just patients, to the point I know I can. I don't have the freedom of time. I'm not traveling. I don't take 4 vacations a year. I'm not. Should you be here? I'm frustrated. You should be here. Okay. So hang out with me. Be present. Don't be doing, if you're doing multitasking, again, this is going to be a waste of time. In fact, let me just be clear to you. Most webinars are a total waste of time. Not necessarily because of what's presented. A lot of good information can be presented, but it's how it's presented. If someone's reading the slide, that's not going to work, and we would never teach our clients to do that. But even if the webinar material is good, I'm going to give you good stuff. It's totally ineffective, total waste of time if all you do is come to the webinar and then you're gone. You don't do anything with it. Imagine a new prospect patient sits down with you. They got all these challenges in their life, and you know that you can help them. And after 1 hour, they go, I got it, doc. Thanks, I got it. Do you? You got it. I've been doing this for years. I know how long it takes to take care of a case like you, and I know how to diagnose. I know how to change your lifestyle. But after 1 hour, you say you got it. It's no different in the business scenario. So you won't have it after an hour. And my intention isn't to somehow think you're going to walk away with all the answers. You're not, but you are going to walk away with a formula that has to do with a lot of stuff, but also how do we help our client? How do we help guarantee, ensure that our clients, our patients are compliant? But the formula that I'm showing you, there's a difference between a complex formula and a formula that we see and understand, and then we own it. So for example, when I hear this little girl use the formula, the music, and she plays the song, I can appreciate it. But it's probably not going to be whoa, right? Because she's just copying, she's parroting the formula. It's not, we need more than that. We need a formula, but we need to own it, we need to grasp it. If I listen to this gentleman play, he owns it. I want to hear him play and play and play. He's connected to me through this vibration, through this music. And that's the kind of formula that we're going to be talking about today. So you will not be able to own this in an hour, but you're going to grasp the formula in itself. And it's all about when we want clients to be compliant, when we want to work with people, we have to connect to them or nothing happens, especially in a world where people are very skeptical and they don't trust half the stuff that comes out of your mouth. Part of the reason that you see my whole body here, this is intentional, that you don't just see my head like you do in a lot of webinars and then these slides. Okay, that's not a very effective way to connect to people. So why am I doing this way? So you can see my body posture, so you can see my movements and so forth, because that's the part of us that we know we can trust someone. Okay, you can see me, not just my face and hear my words. So these are things that we teach in FBC. How are you going to connect with people? And it certainly does have to come from here. So if you really have a message that you want to share with your community, that's a starting point. You have a story, that's a starting point. Are you willing to get out and share it? You have to be willing to get out and share it. And you have to, it's got to come from here. It's not about you, it's about them. So what can I take away? Well, more than hope. You will not be able to take away the model to change your practice any more than that new prospect patient can walk away after your initial consult and say, hey, thanks, I got it. Good luck. You know they're going to be back. You know they're going to just keep falling down. Why don't they stop and say, wait a minute, you're right, I do need a coach. I do need you. Why? I don't ask yourself the same thing. Have you been getting coached on the business side of things if you don't fully understand it? Maybe, maybe not. I can tell you about 30% of people that come to these webinars, they get it, they're decisive, and they move to the next place. In this case, it's going to be a workshop. I'm going to talk to you about it. And most of those people, what I've seen in the past, they've had coaches. They know the value. 70% are that patient that says, I got it. And they go off, and we both know nothing's going to change in their life. Nothing's going to change in their practice. So you will move more hope, because you're going to understand what I'm telling you is not theory. This has been working with over 600 doctors across the United States, South Africa, Australia, Qatar, Canada, you name it. People are people everywhere. But the formula that we are going to be talking about, I'm not going to overwhelm you. This is not about getting, I always hear coaches, they want I walked away and it felt like I was getting, hit with a fire hose or something. You don't learn that way. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it really clean, very few things, so we can focus and understand them. So I'm going to just cut through all the stuff and get you guys there. But this is the first step of your journey. Some of you guys have been watching my educational videos for a while. Thank you for being here. By the way, thank every one of you for being here, because now you're taking time out of being in the practice, which you can't grow in the practice. You got to work on the practice. That's business 101. We got to work on it. Someone's got to be the CEO. Someone's got to be the COO. We've got to work on it. So this is your first step. I'm going to take you through the hour, and because it's only an hour, you're not going to walk away with change in anything. I guess I wish I had that miracle pixie dust, but I don't. But you do have the opportunity to continue to get coaching from me, and that's what I do. And I'll keep coaching as long as you'll have me. Okay. So what we're trying to do, why am I here, is because I can't change 10 million lives in 10 years by myself. That's what we do. That's FPC. It's a big goal. But with our clients and with you being the success story, you get to be part of this mission. You get to help us change 10 million lives in 10 years. So there is going to be coming up, before you get into this stuff, write it down. I know some of you may have some patient or something that you didn't count on. There is going to be a 4-hour workshop. This is happening Saturday the 17th. That's next Saturday the 17th. Put it on your schedule now. 4 hours of unbelievable information, implementation. This is going to make an impact. It's from 9 to 1. Perfect timing. I'm leaving it there because every time I do these workshops at this time, we pack them. So it's been a great show rate. So we think, okay, people, it's easier for doctors to be on Saturday, but it's called Putting It All Together. This is a $9.97 value. You guys being here today, it's free. Just there's a part of me that should charge because I know that you'll show up, but I'm not. So if your practice is your career and it's important to show up, and again, you don't have to make the decision now. Wait until I go through this enough, and I think you will make the decision. Just so you know that, and you can click on and you can get that scheduled. All right, so does this kind of remind you of the challenges you're having? Is this what it's like trying to get your patient to be compliant? It's like tugging on your dog, right? Why is this a problem? Well, you. And what I hear all the time, before you get upset at me, what I hear all the time, well, people just don't want to take care of themselves. It's their fault. They don't want to invest in their health and they don't want to take care of themselves. Really? Really? Well, I can say that when I was in practice, I found that tons of people wanted to take care of themselves. I found that tons of people were willing to invest $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 into their destination, into their health. I found that they were compliant. And I've also found this true with personal trainers I know. They're the people they work with, they want to take care of their health. And they don't have a problem pulling their wallet out and paying them $1,000 a month. They don't ask about insurance or anything. So the question or the facts themselves aren't that people don't want to take care of themselves. They just don't see you as that person being their coach. They see you as a doctor. They see you as someone that can help them with their boo-boo. They see you as someone that can manage their condition, rather than possible the personal trainer that says, oh, if I really want to get in shape and I want to take care of myself and I want to be Superman, Superwoman, I'm going to call my personal trainer, not a doctor. That's just the way that it is. It's because the personal trainer has represented him or herself as a coach, as a guru, as someone that I can support you, but you got to co-labor. I can change your diet, you got to co-labor. I can help you work out, you got to co-labor. I can help your mindset, you got to co-labor. The results you get are dependent on you. As doctors, we have a tendency, oh, I can fix you. I can diagnose you and I can fix you, but that's not true. And so we get upset when they're not getting results quick enough and they're not compliant and they want to quit because they didn't get all those results. Whose fault is it? It's the doctor's fault for not setting up the relationship the way it should be. So we have to take this indoctrinated person that's been taught, you're a doctor, that means, okay, I'm a patient, so I got some kind of problem and you're the doctor, so you need to fix me and I'm entitled to it because insurance. That's who you're dealing with. The personal trainer that gets their client, that same person that they have a doctor. That same person that pays them $1,000 a month, they moan and complain about the $30 copay to the doctor because the way they've been indoctrinated. They understand a personal trainer is a coach. They understand a doctor is supposed to fix them and insurance is supposed to pay for it. So in order for us to make certain that we have compliant patients, clients, we need to get away from the typical model. And one of those ways that we're going to be going into is instead of the fee for service, we're not going to do that. Because that's not fair for them, it's not fair for you, and it's crazy to think that I can put braces on you, but let's just see how it goes. Let's take this a week at a time. No, we know that doesn't work when we put braces on. We know that doesn't work when we train our body. You say, hey, I want to become Superman, how long is it going to take? It's going to take you at least 6 weeks, Charlie. I mean, 6 months. Okay, so I know a time frame. I know how much I'm going to have to work with the trainer. I know this up front, this whole fee for service is you're going to keep getting banged, you're going to keep banged, so it doesn't work. So understand here, here's a good thing. Because they're non-compliant And you can now look at yourself and say, okay, that's my fault, not theirs. Then you're in control. You don't have to play victim. You're in control. Let me show you how to gain control and then work with them to where the majority of these people will. So it is your responsibility. So let's talk about, again, let's take a deeper dive in what's not working, right? Well, this traditional sick care model, and when I say traditional, I don't necessarily mean just allopathic doctor. Whether you're a naturopath, chiropractor, whatever it is, if you are representing yourself as, I'm the doctor, you're the patient. Okay, we've already got them thinking, okay, I'm just in another commodity doctor, right? The word patient itself does register them. Oh, I'm a patient. Here's my insurance card. I don't call them patients. I call them practice members, or I call them clients, because that represents a relationship different than patient doctor. It represents co-labor, to be honest with you. So this model is the fee for service. That means that the value that the patient sees is in the stuff you give them, not where they go, right? So let's dive into this a little deeper. Do you ever feel kind of like, if someone asks you, it's interesting to talk to doctors. You go to these big seminars and stuff, these live seminars. How's it going? Oh, things are great. Things are great. Really? Oh, you're busy. So busy. Really? What'd you take home last month? Crickets. So everyone likes to be busy. Oh, I see a lot of patients. Well, okay. What does that mean? Are you going broke seeing a lot of patients? Are you living the life seeing a lot of patients? Are you changing lives? Are you getting tons of reviews? Are you taking a lot of vacations? Do you have family time? Do you got college money put away? Are you investing more money in the markets or wherever than you do on your house payment? I mean, what does that mean, right? Do you feel like you're making about as much as the manager of a fast food? When you calculate the hours that you're working and trading, that's your fee for service model. We have to create value, and value never comes in the stuff we deliver. Never. It doesn't come in the stuff. It's the experience and where we take them. So this lady, let's pretend this is Marge. Marge is looking at her bill. Now, Marge, in the last 3 months you've worked with her, she's lost 20 pounds. Her hair's starting to grow back. She just told you the other day that, man, my sex drive's back. Me and my husband, it's better than it's been in a long time. What's that worth? If you just ask Marge, what's that worth? Oh my God. No, financially, what's that worth, Marge? Oh, I don't know if you can put a number on it. $1,000? Oh no, more than that. 2,000, it's priceless. Okay, but that's not what we did. See, we focused on the stuff, and the bill that she has shows your office visit, how much, shows whatever the diagnostic, whatever the supplements. So now Marge has forgotten how much change she's made in 3 months, and she's trying to justify the money she spent instead of it being an investment on where she is now. You've shown her, no, Marge, that's not where your value is. See the bill that I gave you. I'm charging you for the stuff I did. Well, now there's no value in that. So now she doesn't want to keep doing it because she can't justify the value in her stuff. Whereas if that information wasn't transferred that way to her, and it was about, if we can get you to be super mom, what's that worth? It's priceless. Let's keep it there, right? Let's keep it there. So we already know, if you're in the insurance model, I'm not here to say you can't make money in it. If you're a surgeon, you still can. If you're a specialist, you still can. Outside of that, you're rolling the dice. They cut the insurance by 15%. A lot of you guys are out. Your profit's gone. So don't depend on it. We do have doctors that have what we call hybrid practices, which means they have both, but the profit's made on moving the people that come in from insurance over into wellness programs. But when things don't work out on the non-compliant patient, whose fault is it if they're not compliant? And now some of you still aren't getting over that. Well, it was their fault. As long as it's their fault, then you're a victim. And that means you have no control. Just understand, if you really believe that there was someone you have and they just can't change, you should have never taken them on as a client. So still your fault, right? So we're not going to take on clients until they have a full understanding of the path we're taking. But the client practice member is pointing the finger at you. If results aren't there, they forget about were they compliant, right? If you haven't set things up and they haven't gone through a program. And I don't want you spending your time being busy doing paperwork and all this. I know so many doctors. How many days a week you working? Well, 5. Well, no, I'm sorry. All day long I'm doing paperwork on Saturday. That's not a life. So we have these dreams we have to go over. Okay, can we get there without a plan? No. Can we get there staying where we are? No. So look, here's what's working. It's a destination approach. That's why we're going to talk about putting programs together to hold them compliant. A destination model is all about the value being in where Marge is going. Marge, where do you want to go? What do you not like, Marge? I don't like being 40 pounds overweight because I don't feel pretty. I don't like losing my hair because I've lost my confidence. I don't like having inflammation in my hips because I can't play volleyball with my daughter, Jeanette. What else, Marge? I don't like this relationship that I have with my husband now because we're doing this because my intimacy has gone down the tubes. Okay, is that acceptable or unacceptable? It's unacceptable. Okay, let's move. It's not about staying there. It's not about treating that stuff. That's gone. Where do you want to go, Marge? I want to be pretty. I want my hair to come in. I want to be 20 pounds lighter. Okay, keep going. Why? Because I would feel good about myself. I would feel more intimate with my husband. I want these hormones balanced so I can feel energy and that intimacy come back. I want to not to have this inflammation. So my daughter knows that I love going out and playing volleyball because right now she just doesn't think I want to hang out with her. Okay, that's where you want to go. That's the destination. And that's the reason that we're going to work together. And I'm going to be your coach, Marge, and I'm going to help you go there. That's why we would work together, not because of my diagnosis, not because of my supplements, not because of my treatments, not because of my stuff. We're working together because you trust me as your doctor and as your coach. Yes, I'm a diagnostician. Yes, or don't have to be a doctor. I get tons of clients that aren't. Our goal is to get you to the destination. Now, how are we going to do that without a program? You're not. You gotta have a program. But we have to first understand where Marge wants to go, right? So now when we have a program, it's going to include lifestyle. People are now looking at things differently as an investment. Oh, I don't want to pay a lot for my food. Well, once you understand what the destiny looks like and food's a part of it, now it's a beautiful thing and it's an investment rather than expense. They're going to co-labor the same way they would do with this trainer here, Jeremy. Why is she doing everything he says? Because he's handsome? Well, maybe. She's doing everything she says because she trusts him, and he's helped her have the confidence to know where she's going to go. So she's compliant and she's co-laboring. Wow, if someone co-labors and actually changes their lifestyle, what's the chance that they're going to get better? 100%. And the nice thing about this type of model, you get hundreds of reviews on Google and Facebook and all these other deals, which are really, really nice. And your profit margins soar. Profit margins are so terrible in the typical practices that I see when they come to me. I can't fathom. Why would you want to double your revenue when your profit margins are so poor? Let's get your profit margins back together. So this is where I'd like you guys to spend some time. Whether you're working or not, because in a virtual practice, you can take this to a virtual. You can work in these chairs. You can just spend time in these chairs. But there's 4 keys to go having this compliance. Number 1, getting the right message out before they ever see you. The right message would be what drives them to an educational event. So for example, a lot of you on right now have certain mindsets. You've been indoctrinated to a certain point. We all were. We came out of school and we believe I'm the doctor. I've got to learn all this clinical stuff because I got to fix everyone. Well, that's a lie because you can't fix anyone, right? But that's what we're indoctrinated to think, right? We're indoctrinated to think that I'm not supposed to market myself, even though pharmaceutical companies fill the TV waves with marketing, marketing, marketing. If your message isn't important enough to get out to people, you're probably in the wrong business. If I have the cure to cancer and I choose not to get my message out, that's really selfish. That's a pretty pitiful place to be. If I get a cure for cancer, I'm going to get that. I'm going to blow it from the top of the freaking mountains. I'm going to get that message out. You've got to. So learning how to get the right message out to alert people, oh, you're different. I've been looking for you. I knew doctors like you existed. I just didn't know where to find you. So it starts with message. We're going to cover a little bit of all these, but we're going to stay here. Creating your ideal client. What I'm doing right now is taking you guys on the initial path. It's 1 hour, the initial path of creating my ideal client. Yes, some of you will be highly successful clients of FBC in the near future. Some of you, we're not a fit, right? Either way, to get the success you're looking for, as I said up front, you're going to have to hire a coach. Just like your patients, you know, your clients, they got to hire a coach, right? They got to have the right doctor, practitioner, or whatever, or they're not going to change. They're not going to figure it out on Google. They got to have a coach, not just for understanding, hold them accountable, and so celebrate with them. So creating your ideal client is going to come from pre-education events. We'll get in that a little bit later, but I'm going to start again with customize these programs, because a lot of doctors are confused on that, and they confuse a program with packaging services. And then we'll talk just briefly on what those consults look like and why those consults are so effective when these things happen first. So let's start with these programs, okay? So one of the things I hear, and by the way, the workshop I mentioned earlier, when you guys show up, you're going to get this sent to you, hard copy in the mail, so you can sit down with a cup of coffee and go through it. This is customized program. This is a full blueprint on how exactly, step by step, to go through it. I won't be able to go through all this right now. I'll go through it more in the workshop, but you come to the workshop, I'm going to send this to you as well, so you'll get that. That's to entice you to show up, okay? The 3 foundational programs. So a lot of doctors will tell me, well, you see, Dr. Webb, Charlie, I can't put programs together for my clients because they're too complicated. They're a human being, right? Because mine were human beings. They're human beings. I don't mean to be sarcastic, but this is crazy. There's a foundation to business. I'm covering those with you. There's a foundation to health. Let's see. You got to clean them up, so they need to quit eating processed foods. Let's just call it detox, okay? They need nourishment. In that nourishment, they'll probably need some plant-based supplements to support them. Always do, because we don't get enough in our food today, right? So I need nourishment, I need supplements. Oh, I need movement, I need exercise. I need rest. So there's 4, and I could probably put mindset in. So there's a foundation that if you don't have any of those in your foundation, or you remove one of them, you've reduced the ability for a human being to move toward optimized health. So what complicated case do you have that wouldn't have at least those in? So can we start by building a program, 3 foundation ones, a mild, moderate, severe. So perhaps you've got one for the person that, you know what, 3 months is all this person's going to need with me if they co-labor. Okay, mild. By the way, what would it have in it? Well, it would have, and I'm going to go through this in a second, but would it include detox? Would it include nourishment? Would it include supplements? Would it include exercise? Yes. There's the uniqueness of it from patient to patient when it comes to supplements, diagnostic testing, dietary, those change, but can't we put the program? Yes, you can. How do I know this? Because we've done it tens of thousands of times with our clients. So we can have 3 foundation programs. Give you an idea. My programs, when I was in practice, San Antonio, Texas, average household income when I was in practice here was $48,000, Hispanic. My average program was 6 months, $78.97. That was my average program. Did I have a 3-month program? No, I had a 4 and I had a 12. Okay, but my average, that's what they were. And I collected $300,000 in cash every single month on a 3-day work week. That was my practice. That was mine. Well, how effective was it for your clients, Charlie? I had probably at least 100 5-star reviews on my website. I had at any given time at least 40 video reviews. I had an incredible reputation in town because I was different. I had an incredible reputation in town because I empowered, because I had a heart to empower and help train people to go off on their own and not need me. It was a great reputation. It was a great way to practice, and it was highly profitable, and it gave me time with my family. You might have a signature program. I've got clients that have $25,000 programs. Yes, they're entrepreneurs, they're athletes, they are people that want to take things to the highest level. I'm one of them. I mean, I'm a super healthy dude, but if some doctor, hey, Charlie, I've got some stuff going on now, I can take you to the next place. I'll invest $25,000 in myself. I always invest in myself because I'm worth it, whether it's my business or my health. And by the way, when you get into this and you are presenting programs to people, if you're not willing to invest in your own health, don't do it, because it's not fair. It's not integrity. If you don't believe in what you do and believe that, hey, this is fair, this is a fair level exchange for you to get to super dad or super mom, 7,000, whatever, financial income. If you don't believe that's fair, then don't do it, because it's not right. You have to be willing to invest in yourself to get healthier. You need to walk the talk. You can't just be one of these doctors that doesn't take care of themselves, but you're asking other people to live a certain lifestyle. It's incongruent, and they'll see right through you, and they'll say, let me think about it. So, and again, whose fault's that, right? Remember, you guys gave me permission to coach you. So again, I'm not beating anyone here. I care enough to tell you the truth and not simply tell you what you want to hear. Okay, that's what a lot of speakers do sometimes, and it's not fair either. I'm here, wake you up a little bit and say, let us help. Start learning these things. And by the way, I couldn't say anything better right now than to say, hey, invest in yourself, take care of yourself when it comes to health, because nothing else matters if you don't have that. One size fits all. Well, I don't want a program because it's just one size fits all, Charlie. This is from a client. This is from a patient, okay, of one of our clients, Dr. Lyle King, Angela Prodanow. This is what she says about Naples Vitality. You can look it up, by the way. This is my client, Naples Vitality. I'll just read it real quick. Now, I got to read from the screen right now. It's a no, but I'm going to do it. Dr. King and his entire staff are genuinely invested and care about each of their clients' individual concerns and goals. This is not a one-size-fits-all program. Each program is specifically made to each person based on what? Test, interviews, not consult, interview, and careful consideration of goals and expectations. Perfect. There is an accountability, co-labor on both sides, and the entire team. Team is helpful and available when you need guidance or motivation, celebration. I have seen many physicians, physical health benefits, including blah, 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 blah. Okay, so here's someone that's been trained to be the perfect patient, the perfect client. Their vocabulary has changed. Look what they said here. Not one size, you're unique to me. We co-labor, we enjoy co-laboring. Best thing that ever happened. So programs, are they better for the patient, the client? Absolutely. Are they the right thing to do? Well, of course they are, because you're setting expectations up front. Are they better for the results? Of course they are. Are they better for you? Yes, because you're not always hoping they come in for the next visit. Oh, and by the way, pulling their wallet out every visit. Now you're a commodity. And you can't differentiate yourself. And so again, if you act like a commodity and they don't want to make the payment, they don't want to show up, you just got to look in the mirror and realize, why I wouldn't do it either. If I was them, I wouldn't treat me any different if that's how I was treating them. So in the destination model, remember we call it destination. Destination means, where does Teresa want to go? Teresa wants to feel like this. That's her vision. Right now, she's 40 pounds overweight. She's 50, but she thinks she should be feeling like she's 38. Her relationships with her kids aren't where they should be because she doesn't have the energy, fatigue. Her relationship with her husband isn't where it used to be when they first got married. This is where she's seeing she wants to go. Destination, let's take you there. And that destination in Fiji, well, that's worth $8,000 for that destination. But what you tend to do in the traditional model, we sell our stuff. Well, the plane trip, here's the deal. I'm going to give you an aisle seat or a window seat. Those, yeah, and I'm going to give you free peanuts in the movie. That's what we sell. We sell the plane ride. I'm not saying the plane ride isn't necessary to get here, but this is what you're selling, right? In fact, you're not selling anything. If you do it right, you're offering them an opportunity to get to their destination. You're offering them a priceless opportunity, because when it turns out, it is priceless. But we have a tendency to focus. Well, how did you make? I don't know how you collected $300,000 in cash every month, Dr. Webb. I think you're just thinning. Well, you can't see that, because in your model, that would take you a lot of hours, a lot of time trading your time for dollars. I didn't do that. I'm worth more than that. My wife's worth more than that. She wants me around. So is my kids. I'm not going to play that game. That's not a good game to play. So you can't see it until you're in it. And then you go, oh, this is a lot easier than my model. It's the same thing with an orthodontist. They never sell. When I put braces on my son's teeth when he was 12, 13, actually a little bit older than that, I didn't buy braces and rubber bands. I invested into a beautiful smile. This lady here invested $7,000 into a beautiful smile that's going to last her for the next 70 years of her life. Okay, that breaks down to $100 a year. Is that worth it? If you look at it that way, a whole different story. So we're going to have in our programs, let's break this down, in your curriculum, you're going to have an educational curriculum. What does that mean? Well, that means that no longer are you trying to teach people visit by visit. I got 10 new clients this month. Oh, and you're going to tell each one of them about vitamin D, about gluten, about glyphosate. Well, no wonder why you're working 50 hours a week. 10 hours a week is repeating yourself every week. Doesn't work. That's not how people learn. It's not how you learn. You went through a structured, well-designed curriculum. We have a well-designed curriculum. That's where your clients are going to go get all their education on what? On nutrition, on supplements, on detoxification, on exercise, on diet, on mindset, on labs, understanding labs, all that stuff. That's in this. Right? Now, if you don't have this created, that's okay, we do. We got you. I don't want you to spend time doing this now. You don't have the luxury of time to invest $200,000 in 2 years to get this designed properly. So don't do it. Focus on doing what I'm doing now in a designed webinar that we already have for you, and focus on making certain that you can put these programs together for them and have an interview that moves them forward in it. This is already done. And so once that new client is a client, that prospect's a client, all that education happens online, and you can measure, you can watch, you can see where they're at. But that's taken place just the way that people learn today. They do learn online and so forth. But if you don't have an educational curriculum, you're not in a proactive health model, because they're not changing their lifestyle. You're back to the sick model. It might be less toxic, but if your clients aren't involved on a daily basis with changing their lifestyle, you're not in the health model. You're still in the sick management model. Diagnostic test. Well, I tested. Maybe some of you guys don't. Every single client, every prospect that turned into a client had diagnostic testing, 100% of them, because that's what I wanted to help measure, right? I don't like to guess. That's just me. So those tests, that's included in the program. Specific treatments. If you got brick and mortar and maybe you do IVs or chiropractic care or whatever that might be, massage, whatever, that would be here. You don't want to separate these things out and list them as commodities. That's like, well, okay, your oranges are $80. I go down the street and get oranges for $70. Every time you turn these into a commodity, the value goes here instead of the destination. All we're doing is including what's in the plane ride, but this is not where the money's going. The money's going into the destination. The investment they make is into themselves. Just like my wife Mindy and I, when we made the investment of $7,000 to go into my son's beautiful smile, the investment was where my son was going. Confidence. That's what the investment was for. It wasn't for the office visits. It wasn't for the rubber bands or the wires. It wasn't for any of that. That was just the plane ride. Your supplements have been here. When I was in practice, generally speaking, okay, every single one of my new clients had a retail value of somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 worth of supplements. Every one of them. We had at least, we would purchase probably $60,000 worth of supplements, 50, something like that every month. Now, I'm telling you, when they're included, they're compliant. When they're included, they will take them. When they take them along with their dietary changes and their exercise, well, lo and behold, they get results. Everyone's happy. But if you try to sell these supplements one bottle at a time, boom, we're back to the commodity. When they're in here, John, you're done, you're included. Oh, here's the supplements we're changing this month. Oh, they're not going to look at what they cost. They're not going to look at the price. They're just going to go, oh, so now I take these. And they walk out, or they're sent to them, whatever, and they go, okay, hey, honey, I got my new supplements in the mail. She doesn't say, well, how much is that? No, it's already done. All inclusive, right? You go to Cabo, you stay in an all-inclusive place or something, and you go have dinner. Hey, let's go have dinner. How many cocktails? How much was that? What do you mean, how much it was? All inclusive, right? Your provider follow-ups. So in this model, generally speaking, as the consultant, the coach, the doctor, the mentor, empowering the client in the wellness, our clients typically follow up about once a month. Now that's totally up to them. Some of them maybe want to go more than that, but just think if you've got 10 new clients a month, that's about a $70,000 a month practice. And that means a total of, well, through each one of those people, going to follow up once a month. That's 40 visits a month. I mean, that's a 2-3 day practice. Now you might have a health coach, right? And maybe they follow up once a month, maybe a part-time health coach, online, virtual. We can help you with that. Hard costs. Okay, stay with me here for a second. Hard costs. Okay, when I put these programs together, Charlie, how do I know the formula? Because if I just put a program together, I might not make a profit. That's right, you might not if you don't follow this formula. So here's part of the formula. I'm giving you some keys here, guys. Your hard costs. What would the hard costs? What I just showed you. Okay, supplements would be hard costs, right? It's something you got to pay for. Diagnostics pay for. Whatever the hard costs are on the program, they can be less than this, but no more than 17 to 24%. That's the rule. Well, I collect $70,000 this month, but I didn't profit as much as I should. And then I dive in and I see that your hard costs are 40%. Of course you did. That's because you thought you had to have $3,000 worth of labs in every single program. So let's just see what this looks like. Say, for example, that the diagnostics, maybe you're just doing blood lab in a co-op, you can do a $1,400 panel for $300 easy. I used to do it for 180. So let's say you got your labs in here, maybe you got a saliva test or something. So $300 hard cost, that's your cost. Your supplements, $600, your cost. Remember, supplements on your program, they're going to be twice that, right? Total hard cost, $900. Okay, so 900 divided by, let's say 20, because it was 1724, 20%. Well, that's 4,500. Your program is 4,500. That's going to allow you to have high profit margins. It's one thing to say, I got $1 million practice. It's another thing to say, well, I'm taking home $400,000 or $500,000, right? So we've got to make certain this is correct. Let's go to another example. My diagnostics were 600. My supplements were 900. My total hard cost, 1,500. 1,500 divided by 20, 7,500. So that gives you an idea. Now, I'm going to show you guys just a quick little video, and then I'm going to have to move pretty quickly to these other points. I told you we wouldn't cover them, but I just want you to know that messaging is important. The webinar is important, and that has to happen before you do the program. You can't be doing programs without educating people before they see you in the interview or anything, okay? But I want to show you about 2 minutes what Danielle has to say about what she started with this. And the reason I'm showing this to you, because the reason she got where she did so quickly is she's following this roadmap. So can we put that on real quick? And then we're going to come back, and I'm going to tie things up, and then I want you to hear from Dr. Lionel King, and then we'll wrap up and talk about the workshop coming up. Can you put that on real quick?
I came to FPC because I got really honest with myself, and I knew that things needed to be changed. I've been in practice for over 10, 11 years, and while I was really confident in my abilities and skills as a practitioner, my clients got great results. I wasn't confident in how I was doing things on the business side. In fact, I'd want to hide my financials from anybody who asked, because it was a little bit of an embarrassment for me. So here I am feeling outwardly really successful and inwardly feeling like I was a failure because I wasn't reaching the financial goals with my practice that I wanted to reach. When I came to FPC, I was tired, exhausted, and knew that if I was going to continue doing what I love to do, I needed to change something. And so FPC has really transformed my practice. I mean, we are looking at revenue that has multiplied fourfold since starting with FPC. what FPC has really taught me is the systems, the processes, the confidence that I need in bringing new clients aboard and bringing them to the place where they're ready to really create change in their lives. Being with FPC is like being with a family. I know that no matter what question I have or what I need, I know that they've got my back. I know that they are there to support me, to guide me, to help me understand what it is that I need to do next. And my practice as a QRA practitioner is growing and thriving by leaps and bounds. I never thought that I would be where I am today just over a year ago. So I am incredibly thankful for FPC and the gifts that they share with us and the care and the love that they provide for all of their clients. Thank you, FPC.
So again, I like to show Danielle because there's the movement that you have in this model can be very quick. And it starts with finding the ideal client, okay? So this happens before we put these programs together, before we offer them. So you're not going to find the ideal client, you're going to create them, okay? So what I'm doing is creating through webinars. Now, I don't have time to go through this in detail now. That's going to be in the workshop, but I'm going to dive into this a little more about what should be in your webinar and what shouldn't. That's going to come in the workshop. But bottom line, if you're seeing people that have not been educated on this new way of seeing health, if they're still in the old model, and you're going to try to put them in a program or even get a compliant client patient, it's not going to work very well. They're indoctrinated to believe I'm the patient, you're the doctor, you need to fix them. I'm entitled. Until that changes, like the personal trainers change them, you're only going to be a commodity to them and you're going to struggle with them staying and paying. Okay, so we've got to do this. So we're not going to, again, I can't cover this right now because we're running out of time. Everyone has a story. I will stop here for a second. The reason I covered a story up front with you guys, and I told you about my past, is to connect with you. Does it work? Well, 90% of you that started are still on right now. Let me tell you something that I get to see. I get to see comments. There's a few people that the minute they get on and I start telling a story, hey, get on with it, go to compliance, let's talk about compliance, they're gone. They're gone. And I'm going to tell you something. If I don't connect with you and help you guys understand that there's a path that I'm taking, if all I do is go straight in to the magic formula, you guys aren't going to get anything out of it. And if you're one of those people that, hey, get on with it, you're never going to learn. That's just like that patient sitting in front of you. Yeah, just give me the secret. Well, how about there's the door, right? They're not any benefit to you any more than these people are benefit to me that don't want to learn and take it in. They're looking for the easy, the quick way. There isn't one. So the reason I took a little time to get to it is because it ensured that I would keep your attention so I could actually impact you and change your life. Because if I can't change your life, this was a waste of time. So thank you for listening to the story. Thank you for being here. I respect the heck out of you for that. And I know that you want to do something about your practice, and that's why you're here. You had the patience to say, hey, wait a minute, maybe this guy knows something that I don't. There's a lot of people who think they know everything, and next year, they're going to be exactly, well, probably not exactly where they are. They're going to be somewhere down because things change and you have to be willing to move those. So thank you for being here. So again, the 4-hour workshop, if you haven't click on, it will fill up. I promise you it will fill up. Be there and get there early. I'm going to get you the customized blueprint to put your programs together. Everyone here right now, you're going to get it. Just show up, right? If you can only, maybe you got plans for the family, whatever, okay. Can you change them? Because this 4 hours can change your life forever. Whatever those 4 hours that you have planned right now, are they in a place that maybe you could do that in another day, maybe take the kids to the pool another day, maybe get to the ball game? This is going to change your life forever. So please be there, click on that. What should not be covered in the presentation? I'm going to cover this in the workshop. What you never want to do, creating a presentation. We have a model. I'm going to show you the formula. I'm also going to show you that we've already done it for you. It's already done. you don't have the leisure time to put it together. You really don't, but we'll show you how to do it, but you can use ours. What's your message? So you're going to go into also learning how to drive people to your webinars. We're going to talk about that. So that's the main thing. So what I'd like to wrap up with here is a couple things. One, thank you for recognizing that you don't know what you don't know. And until you've got the business part down, your practice won't grow. No matter how many initials are behind your name, no how many clinical places you go to, more studies, it won't grow. Some of the most broke doctors I know have the most initials behind their name. Let's spend time getting our master in business and entrepreneurship so we can fully make a career out of this and enjoy life. So I'm going to show you a quick little message from Dr. Lionel King. I showed you one of his from one of his patients earlier. He took the time from his heart to say, Charlie, I want you to show this to people because it means the world to me, what happened to me, and I want them to change. So watch this, and then I'm going to hang out for some Q&A. I know some of you got to go back. It's an hour, but just listen to this, and then if you want to come back for Q&A outside of that workshop, maybe you just want to get on a discovery call with Danielle. You met Danielle earlier. You can do that. I can't help you, and you can't be the next success story if you don't allow us to at least start there. So guys, God bless you. Thank you for being here. And again, I'll be here right after this quick message. If you can play that real quick, Kristen, and then we'll do some Q&A if you can hang on for a little bit.
Hey, this is Dr. Lionel King from Naples Vitality in Naples, Florida. I'd like to take a little bit to tell you about Freedom Practice Coaching, specifically Dr. Webb and his team. In 2017, I started with about 4 clients. I'm internal medicine training, so traditional MD, and I left the disease care world in 2013. I was doing some virtual coaching on my own and things of that nature, but really couldn't get it off the ground. Like I said, 4 clients when I started. Bank account was dwindled, and to be quite honest, I was struggling. And so I was determined that I was going to be a quick start. I dove into the modules and basically did everything that they taught me to do. Once I implemented everything, I did my first talk probably 2 to 3 weeks after I got started into the modules, which is not recommended, but again, I needed to cash flow pretty quickly. Did pretty good, got about a 67% close rate, which was, unheard of from what I was doing previously. And then it just kept rolling from there. When I first started, I was happy if I did 15,000. Now, let me not even talk about now. If we were able to hit 40,000 a month, first of all, I couldn't even fathom. That was the initial goal that they set for me. And I'm like, if you can give me that, I'm going to be thrilled. Well, not only did we get to that, but we surpassed that. I'm like 2.5 years in. Our average is about $100,000 a month. And it's not really just about profitability, although it is, because without being profitable, you can't really serve anybody because you don't have a business. But it's more about the people that we help and the results that we're getting. The only way that we could do these numbers, and the last month, I think we were at about 167. The only way that we can hit these numbers is we have to be doing a good job. We have to be getting good results, and we have to be doing a great job at marketing. FBC has enabled us to do all of these things on a repetitive basis, month after month. So again, the thing that I love about FBC is they have everything already thought out. If there's a mistake that could be made, they've already made it, corrected it, said this is what you do. So I didn't have to recreate the wheel. That's the best part about it. So all I had to do was just implement. And the numbers just kept going up and going up and going up. The other thing that I love about it is Dr. Webb has really created a situation where he's duplicated himself. All the coaches not only are just as good as him, but they bring their own expertise. They bring their own experience to the picture. And so you're getting this whole team of experts that not only are they experts just from studying it, but they all have done it themselves. And so they're able to give you different perspectives. That was really, really valuable to me, because before I was trying to take other marketing advice from other gurus and apply it to the health and wellness, world, where they've already done it. They've already figured out the marketing, the languaging, the copyright. So all I had to do was plug and play. This really allowed me just to really focus in on my craft, the results that we got, not only monetarily, but also with our patients, which we call our practice members, has just been phenomenal. Never in the history of me practicing medicine have I had such phenomenal results with my clientele. I have the testimonials to really back that up. So for me, the greatest thing is, number one, it took the guesswork out of it. Number two, it allowed me to practice in a way where I don't have to worry about the finances. We have an abundance of clientele coming in, and we're profitable. Number three, which is probably the most important, it enables me to help more people. Like the sky's the limit, because I have the system that I can build upon. And so I'm able to touch more people, get greater results, and really save more lives. So I really, if you're thinking about freedom practice coaching, please get to a discovery day. See if it's right for you, because it might not be right for you. It's not right for everyone. If you're not willing to get out and educate the community, it's not going to be right for you. If you are willing to educate the community and you're really passionate about getting the word out, this is perfect for you. And you really want to meet with the team and see how they can help you as well. All right? Thank you so much.
We may, oh, I'm sorry. Are we good? All right, so some of the common questions as you guys send these, I guess I was talking before we were live. When's the best time? Timing wise, when should I be coached? Well, number one, you should always have a coach. But when someone asks me, I'm getting ready to get into practice, get a coach before you open your doors. It's crazy, in my opinion, to open your doors without knowing enough about entrepreneurship to ensure success. Most businesses fail, or they never really generate that much profit. They end up being hobbies. So the stars are never going to align. That's not going to happen. You align the stars, right? So, well, I'm busy. Well, if you're busy, are you highly profitable? You should be productive. Many doctors, the most of them, in fact, spend much of their time not earning and generating wealth. They end up being busy, non-productive work, because they don't know how to manage their time. We have always been able to find a minimum of 2 hours per day in every single doctor that's come to us of wasted time that we can help them implement our system in those 2 hours. So that helps you understand that a little bit. Investment wise, well, are you willing to invest in the goose that lays the golden eggs? Because that's what your practice is. And if you don't feed the goose, if you don't invest into the goose, and that also means you've got to bring new clients in. And a lot of, every single business I've ever had and every entrepreneur I have, they have a marketing budget. That's what allows them to grow into 8-figure businesses. Most doctors don't know how to market. We do. We have groups, we have teams that drive in well over 40,000 new clients to our practices, our clients every single year. So we know how to do that, so we can handle that and show you the best way to do that so you can get a huge return on your investment. You can't make a return anywhere else, stock market, real estate, anything else, as you can in your own practice. You just have to understand how to model it correctly, because that's where you should be putting your time. That's where you should be investing your money, and allow that thing to grow to the place that you want it to be. And I don't know what that is. You do. That's why we want to get on a conversation with you. But if you're in a situation where you feel that I don't have the money to invest in my practice, well, it's the chicken and the egg, right? Well, that means that you don't have a practice that's doing right for you and you need a coach. You haven't figured it out. Some of you, well, I've been doing this for 2 years, haven't figured it out yet. Well, don't keep trying. If you've been doing it for 10 years and you keep thinking you're going to figure it out, I just want you to think logically for a second, really consider, is that really going to happen? Or is it going to be another 10 years to go by? So get help. Again, the workshop's a starting place. Get on the discovery call. That's a starting place. Do we have anything else we want to share right now?
We do have one question. She says, I am passionate about nutrition and not sickness management. Does this work for me?
Okay, so I failed miserably in your case. The question is, I am interested in nutrition and lifestyle. Does this program work for you? I thought that I really covered that. The foundation of health and wellness is nutrition, detoxification, the right plant-based supplements that you're going to get from the good companies that you know who those are, and you're here. Exercise. I don't believe in sickness care. There's a place for management when where they've neglected health. There's so many, but there's a place to manage. Don't get me wrong. I believe in proactive. I believe in empowering people to live at the high level. I'm a 60-year-old guy, and I'm probably the healthiest 60-year-old I know. And I practice what I preach, and this is what I want. When I was in practice, I'm one of them. So absolutely, this program is designed specifically for practitioners who want to empower their practice members to take control of their life, not just treat them. So hopefully that answers that question. So guys, don't put time in front of your life, creating your health or your future, because it's just going to go. You're going to waste time. There is no perfect time. I started my practice when I was broke and when Mindy was pregnant, and it turned out to be the perfect time, because it was the perfect time because I did it and I jumped into it. And the perfect time is yesterday, last month, last year. So guys, thanks again for being here. Can't wait to see you at the workshop. I can see we've already got a ton of you guys coming. So I'm glad that you trust me on this and you'll be there. It's going to be a great 4 hours, and then you'll have rest of your Saturday to have fun. So guys, God bless. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Dr. Webb. That was amazing. I just want to do a quick little outro and let everyone know if there are more questions. I'm sure through the websites and through the team here, there's a site you can go through. You can also email webinars@fullscript.com, and we can pass them along as well. And again, this is being recorded, so everyone will get a copy of this recording to their email. You can find it on our website. Just want to thank you again for being here, Dr. Webb. That was a great presentation.
Thank you so much for having me.
We hope to see you soon, and we hope that everyone has a great rest of their day.